Hey folks, your OS Reviews for watching our video first look and a quick review of the 1x1 Magic Plasma wireless Bluetooth speaker. This is a pretty interesting speaker because it combines this beautiful plasma ball that you can play around with a mono Bluetooth speaker. So unfortunately it's not stereo. It's also a little bit interesting because I don't think it has a built-in battery pack. It's basically powered by USB cable, which can be a good thing if you have a computer or a power bank nearby, but kind of defeats the purpose of a wireless speaker if they don't build in a power bank. But at the same time, I can understand why they wouldn't want to, with the risk of damage when combined with this already pretty delicate plasma ball component on the very top, but something to quickly keep in mind. Not great for traveling. So here we have some basic specs on the sides. It's a 5-watt speaker, uses Bluetooth version 2.1, so you can connect it with any cell phone or tablet, and also can be connected using USB by 3.5mm jack if you want to use it as a wired speaker. Speaker quality here is decent. I'll show you guys that in a moment, but it's not the main priority of this. It's really meant as a conversation starter, and for people that really love plasma balls, I guess, but also want to consolidate it with this Bluetooth speaker component. So in here, there's a plasma ball speaker itself. There's also the aforementioned 3.5mm auxiliary cable for a wired connection, and the micro USB cable for power. And that's basically it. There isn't a wall plug that's included per se. The design of the speaker itself is a little bit smaller than I think most folks would expect when they miniaturized plasma ball. So if I have it next to a light bulb, this one is a bit larger than normal, but you get a better sense of really the size of this thing. It's not a huge plasma ball, but it is made out of glass and gives you the same very cool effect. So if you're a fan of, let's say, lighting or physics, this definitely gives you the same sense. There is the speaker here as well. It's not really protected, but it has a bit of oomph because there is a passive radiator component built onto here, so it's good for also rock music in addition to pop music, for instance. The main body is made out of plastic, which is fairly scratch as well as scruff showing because it's this piano black surface, but the sides has a soft touch rubber material that's a lot easier to grip and hides wear and tear better. So it's a fusion between the two. And on the back, you have access to all the ports, including one for emitting the heat, and there's also the micro USB port for power, 3.5mm jack. There's also a micro SD card reader, so if you want to pop in a card with preloaded MP3 songs, it can play that back directly. And there's also a separate power on-off switch on the back. The bottom just features a matte surface, which prevents the unit from sliding around on a surface or a desk, and that's it. Front features very simple controls for playing, pausing the music, for skipping tracks, as well as changing the volume controls. So here it is plugged in, and you can see the plasma ball is actually fairly bright. It's visible even under brighter environments, but obviously if you turn the lights all the way off, it gives the coolest effect. And you could even, of course, interact it as you would expect with a regular plasma ball, multiple fingers, as long as it's the flesh will be recognized as long as it kind of conducts, and you can see that it creates, again, a pretty cool effect. Since it is a very small plasma ball, it doesn't drain too much power, so you don't really get a sting. There's not really too much heat either from holding one point for too long, but again, a very cool effect. Now, something I have noticed is since it does still drain quite a bit of power with the plasma ball and also the speaker down below, you can kind of notice that it's made actually the connection of other devices plugged into the same wall socket behave a little bit more erratically. The light here, which can be dimmed in my wall, kind of behaves differently when I keep on touching this multiple times. So there is actually a slight impact to electronics nearby in terms of the field. So something to keep in mind, it's not completely stable. As a speaker, again, it's not the best in the world, but it does work. There's a bit of static or distortion if you turn the volume all the way down, but it's loud, it's clean, it does produce again, quite a rich amount of bass, so if you're playing back rock music or pop music, it is pretty impressive. So good enough for general listening to music, for some parties, for some quick tunes in a room, no problems there. A slight 1 to 2 second delay when you're playing back your tunes as well. Alright, so hopefully that quick sample audio clip showed you guys the capabilities of this as a speaker. Obviously, again, not the most powerful thing in the world, but really good enough as a Bluetooth speaker, especially one that uses 2.1 technology, as opposed to perhaps 4.0 or 4.1, which is the most modern version. But, they made a few sacrifices here and there just to build everything in, and it's not the most, stable piece of appliance in the world. There is still kind of a disturbance, again, on products around it if they are plugged into the same wall or socket. But overall, a pretty cool product as a conversation starter, and if you're interested in this kind of stuff, this one can be found for under 40 bucks, which is, in my opinion, fairly inexpensive for this all-in-one design. You can check out more details about this in our official written review, but for now, this has been our video. Thanks for watching here at OS Reviews. This is a Plasma Ball wireless Bluetooth speaker.